Welcome to WTO with Steve Renazizi, not to be confused with WTF. What's the odds with Steve Renazizi? It's November.
I thought it was World Tennis Organization.
I know it's too. I can't even do WTO.
You abbreviated the show for the first time in 3 years, and it just doesn't sound right.
I know. I feel like
welcome to
want to
what's
change
the
top
odds?
up. I want to change the top up and then just shorten it a little bit. WTO made sense, but then isn't World Trade Organization isn't that another WTO? Probably not the best idea. It's what's the odds with Steve Renazizi. It always will be. It will never change. Thank you for tolerating the fact that I had appointments yesterday. I had to go to my son's school and participate in his fucking life to try to make him into a good person, so he doesn't go and shoot up a fucking
Jesus.
Whatever, a fucking protest. And I get ridiculed on the internet by my own podcast. And then we were supposed to start recording 45 minutes ago, but Brenton texted us an hour ago saying that he had, a Proud Boys meeting he had to attend, get a fresh haircut. He had to look good for the Rittenhouse fucking verdict. And now here we are. I'm getting ridiculed and nothing about you. Well, I want
you were just
everyone
very vague yesterday. You were like, I have appointments. You didn't say what they were. That's such a vague, sketchy thing to send to us. Can't do it today. I have appointments.
I didn't really want to say I'm baking cookies at my kid's school. So that's why I can't do the fucking podcast. That and the fact that I did spots on Tuesday night in New York City and walked around for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and my fucking back is killing me. I can't even, this fucking back.
You got to get a scooter, man.
You know what it is? It's from carrying you, Brenton, for the last fucking 4 years or however long we've been doing this. I mean, it's pretty much been a whole presidential cycle at this point.
So. I think it's 3 years. Yeah.
It's been a while
since we started. So, whenever it was legalized, I think it was 2018 that sports betting was legalized.
I feel like that was pretty much, that's when I started to feel the pangs of tension in my lower back again. So thank you for that.
I think before you get to what you wanted to talk about, I think the people need an update. What's going on with this lottery?
I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but unfortunately, I am starting to get the impression that this might not be a completely above board thing. Here's why. I have not received any correspondence from Bill Brock in over 3 weeks. Okay. Now, I haven't said anything on the podcast because I was kind of waiting for this thing to play out. Hopefully, I was going to have enough time to receive my letter in the mail. Now, I'm hoping he wrote down my new address, the P.O. box, correctly, and maybe didn't fuck it up. And so I'm thinking maybe it's got sent to the old house and it'll come back to me at some point. So I don't want to rule it out. But as of right now, if I have to give an update, it doesn't look great as far as I am still on the road. I haven't hung them up. So the first check has not cleared, but I still have all that stuff. I still have all the check and the letter and everything like that. Did I call him to see if there was some sort of mishap? Yes. Did he answer? No. Dude, is it bad that now I'm stalking the people that I think are robbing me? I'm so invested in this now, pardon the pun, that I need closure on this. I need to know either this was 100% a scam.
It was 100% a scam.
Where is my money?
Money doesn't exist.
Dude, I'm just telling you right now, I think
this guy is having a meltdown because he's the first fucking moron that's actually following up on this stuff. Usually either get the money or I don't, and I'm out.
Look, here, I'm happy that, first of all, I'm happy that people care that, that this guy thought that the lottery was important enough to go reach out to me and say, hey, I think I might have some of your money. Okay. What's happened since then? The communication, the lines of communication, those are all things that can be played out later on. Okay. In my Ryan Murphy FX anthology season, by the way, Lucas, thank you so much for that fucking wonderful gift of impeachment.
Is it still going?
I don't know, dude, but I watched all 10 that I saw.
Okay.
I mean, it was pretty much Bill and Hillary got on the plane at the end. There's almost like the fuck you. We're carrying on. And however this fucking thing plays out after, it's none of our business. So
I hope there's a season 2.
It felt ending for me. No, I think these are one-offs, dude. The
No,
OJ
they
thing
are.
was
I
a
know,
one-off.
but
Yeah.
I know, but that story could keep going.
Oh my God. But anyway, where was I before that? Hold on. Go back.
Can I ask something real quick?
Go ahead.
Do you have a return address for Brock from the initial letter?
I don't have it with me.
But you do have it, because I think it would be a nice gesture from the podcast if we sent him a nice Christmas card this year.
We could. I mean, I'll find out what the address is. I mean, I'm hesitant to do that, to pull that trigger yet, because what if I don't want to inundate this guy with hateful or whatever, however you guys want to celebrate your holidays, however you want to send him cards.
No, just wish him a great Christmas season, health and happiness to him and his family. And here's my full name and social security number.
Just don't blow my chances at getting my money. That's my well-deserved money.
He might sponsor us.
Yeah, he's got all this extra income lying around to just.
I don't think he said his website was down, so I don't know if he's got the sponsored podcast kind of money flow right now. But I'll definitely reach out. If I get to him again, I'll let him know about the podcast. Maybe he'll be maybe he already knew.
Maybe
that's how he found us to begin with. Look, part of that's. This could all be my back. It could be, I'm just on edge. So I've been laying down. I've been breathing. I've been meditating. I've been stretching as much as I possibly can. I'm watching Impeachment. I'm watching now Narcos, picking up on my Spanish. Narcos is back. Thank God. Narcos season 3. They're in fucking Mexico.
They're still going?
Oh, yes. Muy bien, Lucas. Muy bien. Not a show that you can fuck around. I mean, look, unless you're fluent in Spanish, which I'm not, because even in Impeachment, it's like they're having scenes and it's like Monica and fucking Linda Tripp talking.
Yeah.
And as much as she's so unbelievable, Sarah Paulson, that it's like at some point someone's gonna have to give her a special award for being unbelievable, because she fucking morphs into these people. She's as close, I think, to Philip Seymour Hoffman as an actor as I've seen in a really long time. Forget Daniel Day-Lewis and these guys, those guys that go completely method and off the fuck, they're doing it for movies, which, I guess movies and these anthologies are sort of the same thing, but they take it, they prepare 2 years for it. And, it seems like it's like she doesn't look for the project. Ryan Murphy goes, "Hey, dude, I'm doing something on the fucking Simpsons." And next thing you know, she is Marge Simpson 5 days later. Totally. She has the whole thing down. Linda Tripp is not someone that you ever probably grow up as an actor going, fucking, I hope one day I get to play Linda goddamn Tripp, unless you're John Goodman. Yeah, exactly. Who fucking killed it. So it was so good. I knew it was so good that. And Tracy loves Ryan Murphy and all this stuff, but I did it without her because, I'm laying on my back. So, and she's like running the house and like dealing with everything that I'm not dealing with besides telling stupid jokes. So, I'm plowing through this thing at fucking 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So she sits down to like do something, fold laundry, whatever. And then she's in. So she caught like the last 5 episodes after that. But she literally said to me, she was like, she had to Google what Linda Tripp really looked like, because I'm like, we were in college, so like, this was like literally Saturday Night Live was my news, so it was like, oh, I guess the president fucked around. Like that's as into news and politics as I was.
I was the same. I was like 11 or 12. So
yeah, so I'm like, fuck this, I'm not getting into. So I, kind of, you don't really remember the different people and the characters, so I looked her up and it was like, holy shit, man, she was. Tough.
Yeah.
Rough around the edges as a woman, not a very handsome woman, as my mom would say. So, yeah. And it's not supposed to be a compliment. So yeah, it was like, but she just fucking unbelievable, her performance.
Yeah, she had to put a fat suit on every day.
And
play. And you're right. It's a very complex character because she did something that everybody in America felt was abhorrent. And
dude, if she did this today, if this happened today, she would have her own talk show on Fox News within 15 minutes of this thing happening.
Right after
she would have been touted a hero. She would have been, she would have, whatever she wanted, a congressman, a senator, she could have done whatever she wanted. That would have been it. To get the sitting Democratic president impeached right now, you would be Trump's vice presidential nominee for the next fucking election cycle. So, yes, I mean, unbelievable. Just so I killed impeachment, killed it.
Just so everyone knows, Tiger King 2, I believe, premiered yesterday, and Carol Baskins is suing the producers for her.
I heard this. Yeah,
she didn't want to be in it, so if she wins that lawsuit, Netflix will have to go through and comb out all the scenes with her in it. So if you give a shit about that woman, watch it in the next week or so, because who knows how that.
Well, the litigation could take a while, though. It's not going to be immediate.
This is true.
Yeah. Look, I saw the new Tiger because I'm doing the Narcos. So you see Tiger King, and I don't know if it didn't say like new episodes. It just said like, but it had like the red line, like something new. And I was like, what is going on here? So I haven't watched it yet. Is it worth it getting into it or no? Did you watch any of it or no?
I mean, nothing's going to beat the first experience. And honestly, impeachment is 1,000 times better. So for anyone,
I still haven't even watched the first Tom Brady thing yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. And
that's on now. That's on. So
Hard Knocks last night.
And Hard Knocks, dude. I just watched it because we got the comeback.
Man.
Let me tell you something right now. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm in, dude.
The 4-6 Colts are gonna turn it around.
I am 100% in on the Indianapolis Colts.
Now, why do you say that? Is it just because you're seeing how the team operates and you're like, oh
I'm
my
seeing
God,
Jim Irsay
together.
I'm seeing Jim Irsay all pilled up in the fucking locker room, starting a fucking chant that was from 1986. The players are like, what is going on here? Like, is he doing like the like the fucking Matthew McConaughey? It almost looked like he didn't know where he was going with that fucking thing when he started it. I'm in on that. I'm in on thinking Frank Wright was kind of smarter than he really was now that I get to know him, but now I really is. Oh, he's just a religious dude. Like, okay. All right. Got a lot of Jesus in his offensive plan. I get that. What happened to Brenton?
Oh
my God.
I think he might have died.
Dude, Frank Reich just assassinated Brenton. Holy, ahead of the Bills game. Don't you guys play them this week?
Yeah, and it's always very hard when Bills fans play Frank Reich because we have this allegiance to him,
You have to have some sort of special place in your fucking heart for a guy that, I mean, that was probably, again, we were talking about impeachment. Like football to me in high school and stuff, like once you start to get relationships and friends and pussy and drugs, like all those things become a little less important, a tiny bit. Maybe it was just for me. I mean, I knew none of those paths were going to be where I was going to end up in my life. So, like I needed to explore and see what my other options were. So I just, for football, I mean, I watched a lot of Giants games and stuff, but like the other games that were on Sundays, I never really caught. Playoffs, yes, you pretty much watch it, but that game was like a game that you talked about for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks after, especially because the Bills, what the runs that they went on and stuff. So the fact that they came back in that game and he was the backup, right?
Yeah, and he came in that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
2 or 3 games later, and of course, fans thought the same miracle had happened.
It was, of course, you have to have everybody remembers that shit. That's iconic shit.
But I feel if that happened today, that it would just be a common occurrence. Like remember the Chiefs and Texans had a wild card game a few years ago. Houston was up like 21 or 21-0 at halftime. Remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
That was the year the Chiefs, I believe, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think it was just because, I mean, what was it? 35-3 at halftime?
No, it was 35. Was it 35? I want to say it was 31.
And it was snowing too, right? Like for me, like climate could snow and shit like that. When you're down like 30, like whatever, 20 points, 25, it almost feels like, because you got to air the ball. Like you need like optimal conditions to get your offense going. I just feel like that is it looks even more daunting. It's like, oh, we got to climb this mountain. Okay, cool. It's going to be fucking really difficult. You know what? Let's throw some snow on top of it and see how, let's see if people slide down the fucking side of it, even though they're doing the best they can. So I guess maybe because it was snowing, it just felt so much more insurmountable than any fucking, Any lead ever. What was the halftime?
It was 28-3 at halftime.
28-3.
And then I should have remembered this. Houston, I believe, scored very early on in the third quarter. So not only, when you get that momentum going, that's where as a fan, you're like, oh, okay, shit's over.
Done.
When you see the other team just go out first possession of the second half.
And they land first in the second half too. You're like, we are never going to connect here. We are never going to get this thing going, especially in the fucking snow. And so, yeah, I mean, fucking Frank Reich is a hero.
Yeah.
Although they didn't win the Super Bowl, he's a fucking goddamn hero.
Yeah, and he almost got that head coaching job. If it wasn't McDermott, Reich was in the final three.
Did you, Jonathan Taylor? I mean, quietly, I guess people are, Luke Breton started talking about him a couple of weeks ago. He's the best running back and this and that. But
he is the best running back in football.
He might be, yeah.
He really is.
He really, I didn't realize how fast he was. I'm sounding like Carson Wentz, but yeah. 22 miles an hour. That's fucking Daniel Jones territory right there. We're talking about high octane speed. That's what they said in the
he doesn't
episode.
trip. Oh,
except,
wow.
Except he makes it the whole fucking way. Yeah.
Wow.
So I like this in-season thing. I don't like how they just kind of, I realized for time's sake, they have to kind of gloss over the first 9 games, but like there was some really like head scratching moments in those first 9 games. We talked about it. The opposite hand throw in the end zone, getting picked off, the Carson Wentz, it's like, that's one of the worst football plays I've ever seen in my life. So, and they just were like, ooh, that kind of bad. Like, unless it's HBO got there, they read the temperature of the room, they realized, look, man, these guys are just kind of moving forward every game and forgetting about the last game, and that's the way it is. And so that's the narrative that we're going to have to go with, because that's what's going on. If we try to, kind of stir it up and be like, what was the decision process on this specific thing and this and that, then, we're kind of making something that's not here. That I wouldn't put it past HBO, but I'm glad at least if they read the room and saw that this is the way it is, that's what they're, that's how they're going about it. They just kind of glossed over it, looked at it like it's, we're 5-5 now, and we just have to win, most of the game. We have to go at least 4-2 or 5-2 on the way in to make the playoffs. And they could do it, I guess. I don't know what their schedule is coming up. I know they got a tough one this week. Do you have, are you nervous?
Game of the week, man. I'm very nervous. I think it's the best game on this week. I don't know. Do you think it'll be high scoring?
Well, it depends. I haven't watched enough. I didn't watch Buffalo this week because I went to watch the Jets. The Pittsburgh Steelers game with a friend of mine and the kids. We all went to.
By the way, Comedy Store general manager Richie Taylor was at that Pittsburgh Steelers game.
I know.
He deliberately, huge Steelers fan.
He brings his son every year, right?
Every year.
Brings Rocco, right?
The Lions game because he's like, this is a shoe-in win. It's my son's birthday, and they sat in the rain in the snow for 4 hours for a fucking tie.
Well, I sat in a Buffalo Wild Wings, which wasn't the most comfortable place to be, if you know what I mean. If anybody's familiar with my history, I was a spokesperson for Buffalo Wild Wings in 2015, and the partnership came to an abrupt ending. Let's just put it that way.
Did they recognize you?
No, they didn't. But It's funny because it's near our house. It's sort of, the play. It's got all the games and shit. The kids can fuck around. They give a Wi-Fi password out. It's fucking awesome. But my friends, like, they love me. So they're loyal to me. So they're like, we can go wherever you want. We don't have to go there. We've been only going there for the last fucking 10 years before you moved back here, but we can go wherever you want. And I was like, no, we can, guys. I'm like, look, these people just wanted to sell chicken. They didn't need a national disgrace trying to do it for them. So it was a mutual decision, I guess, that, we part ways. But anyway, we're at the Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm fucking, look who's back. This cunt.
Let's not let him in. Let's make him.
I almost didn't. I hit admit, but I don't know where he went. Oh, he's back. Ask.
All right, let's.
Hello.
Okay, so I think my laptop just died, so I apologize.
Oh, I thought you had another fucking white power meeting to head off to with that haircut. You had a Zoom white power Klansman meeting. I was just telling a story. We were talking about the Bills and the Colts this week. We covered Hard Knocks a little bit. I asked Lucas if he's worried. I said I didn't see much of the Bills defense.
The Bills defense is very legit.
It is, but I was telling him I was at Buffalo Wild Wings watching the Pittsburgh game, and every time you looked over, it was either New England scoring on the fucking Jets or the Bills just running it up. So I didn't really watch much of, what they were doing. But it looks like, obviously, because the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, that fucking how amazing is that special teams coordinator that they pulled? He goes, look, this is what we're going to do. This is what they're bad at. And then they fucking did it. Like, that guy's got a job. Great fucking job, dude. Way to step up first week.
And there's a small trend going on where a lot of special teams coordinators are actually being brought into head coach.
Shut up.
That's
Are you trying to make fun of me?
I'm just no.
That's how John Harbaugh started.
Joe Judge.
Yeah,
I thought
no. That's a serious thing. No,
Joe Judge.
Joe Judge is on the hot seat, by the way, which I think is a mistake. I think you got to give him a few more seasons.
Look,
but
dude,
he's probably done if they don't make the playoffs, or at least
who is he on the hot seat from? I hope it's only the ownership.
The fans. It's the fans. You guys hate everybody that doesn't instantly win. You got to let
tell you something.
Build.
The fan base. But below Joe Judge, above Joe Judge is definitely Gettleman. Okay, Gettleman's got to go. You cannot fire Joe Judge again, because let me tell you something. Gettleman's now looking like the fucking Bachelor. Colton. It's like if it ain't this chick or that chick or this head coach, who do you think the problem is? Gettleman's gay. He's gay for head coaches. He sucks at it. He's got to move on. We got to lose Gettleman. You get a new guy in there.
Hearing it here first, an exclusive. Gettleman comes out of the closet on the show.
I'm just saying, like, Gettleman's like Colton. It was never going to work because he's the problem.
Yeah.
Not that being gay is a problem, but it is on The Bachelor when you're trying to fuck pussy. It's a tough thing to, hello. So anyway, we got to get rid of Gettleman. I don't want to hear about Joe Judge. Yeah. Joe Judge, if you got rid of Gettleman and you kept Joe Judge, I'd be fine with that, because I agree with you. I don't think the guy's had his proper due yet. I mean, look, COVID sucks, this and that. He has made mistakes. I would love to tighten some fucking things up. We lost 2 games this year because of offensive penalties. You got to fucking really want to kill someone after that. Mm-hmm. But overall, I don't think it's been a complete disaster. It's not fucking the private detective that we had 2 coaches back, McAdoo, with his fucking sunglasses and mustache and mishandling the Eli thing, So I feel like we're in a better spot, and it's certainly not Joe Judge. Can we get off my fucking coach, please? Can we get the fucking focus back on where it belongs?
He's a good coach.
I'm in support of your coach. That was a positive. That was not a shot. I actually like back. I like them to cover against Tampa Bay this week.
You do?
I do. Look, Bradbury's going to shadow Mike Evans.
I'm like, you really?
And Mike Evans has not done well against Bradbury in the past. So you eliminate that. I don't think Antonio Brown's going to play. Gronk's not going to play.
And has Tom Brady done well against the Giants before?
But Steve, he's lost 2 Super Bowls. Vita Vea is probably out, so that defense that's already banged up is now even worse, and you might have Barkley back. I'm not saying the Giants win outright, but if it's like a double-digit spread, I'm going to take the Giants to cover.
I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't looked.
I'll
be honest with you. You're going to see how the sausage
but...
gets made on this one. I haven't looked at any of the fucking spreads yet. This is going to be a blind pick. And I'm glad you know that now. I'm glad you know that, so that as you can see, if you don't like my pick, you go, fuck this guy. I'm not with him.
I've had 2 fantastic weeks of picks.
Just shut up. Tell me about if you think the Colts will be able to defeat your Bills this week. And I think the Colts. What if the Colts start to run it down your throat, which is probably. I mean, you've right the ship a bit in that department, but it ain't perfect yet.
Well, I was going to say they've only really had 1 bad game, and that was against Derrick Henry, who's an anomaly.
We might have part 2 on our hands here, my friend. I mean, he's not as big.
Jonathan
Taylor
going to
beat you up in the second half.
Very,
if
very
gets
good.
Past you.
But if you're saying Jonathan Taylor is Derrick Henry, you're out of your mind.
No, I'm not.
Then there you go.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
Carson
he might be
Wentz,
the second best running back in the league. So that worried me.
I disagree with that. It's Nick Chubb is the second best running back in the league. He is leading the league right now in yards after contact, and it's not even close.
It's close in the fact that they're elite top 5 running backs in the league right now, and defenses probably worry about that. That's my point.
Yeah, so they'll scheme to him, and they're going to make Carson Wentz have to make plays. And as you have stated in the past, that's something that you don't want Carson Wentz to have to do.
So I guess the long answer to your question that before you even got here, Brent, was I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I don't think it's going to be high-scoring now because
Really?
we're also. Is the game in Buffalo or is it
Yes.
in? Okay,
Buffalo.
so it depends on what the weather's going to be, and this is a great time for bettors out there to realize the weather's getting shitty. It's snowing where Steve is right now.
It just stopped, but it was before. Yeah, we have no
the lines haven't adjusted yet because it's still mid-November. So take the under on a lot of games that are outside in bad weather because Vegas still sees the last few weeks of results and scores, and they factor that in. So the lines are a little bit higher than what they're going to be, and then they'll adjust in a few weeks, and you'll see lines that are a lot lower. But yeah, I would take the under depending on what it is.
What about like Colts Lions Browns this weekend?
Oh, under for sure.
Okay.
Under for sure. And I'm taking the Browns, who are just going to smash them around. I mean, Goff is probably not playing. It's going to be Tim Boyle.
Who's probably better than Goff,
Yeah,
right?
he'll probably play better than Goff, but what's that say?
Dude, fucking Goff, dude. I mean, because I was watching that Steelers fucking Detroit game. It's like Goff just, I guess he plateaued. That was it. That was what he was.
Goff is off.
What about Stafford? Can we talk about Stafford and how he wasn't worth 2 first-round picks?
Well, look, you say that now, but if they go on to win a Super Bowl, I'm just saying, hypothetically, and it could happen, they were one of the favorites. I think then it would be worth it. I think then, I'm not saying like, and I'm not saying he even has to go out and win the fucking Super Bowl for them. But
he has to win the Super Bowl for what they paid for him and what they paid to put the team together. They have to win. But here's
why they don't have to. Here's why you're wrong.
They have to win.
They have to win, but he does not have to win in the Super Bowl. They have built a team with 2 sides of the ball. Okay, the defense is more than capable of holding a team down. Now they fucked up this week. I don't know what happened this week, but the fact that their defense is very strong, I'm not saying they're the Ravens of like the early 2000s and they have a Trent Dilfer back there, and he's much more capable than Trent Dilfer, but their defense will keep them in the game. He just can't lose it for them, and he's good enough to win them a game once in a while. So yes, he doesn't have to do it. I don't think you have to see Matthew Stafford throw for 4 touchdowns and 300 yards in the playoffs for them to continue on to move to the Super Bowl. And if he does, I pretty much can guarantee you they win that game. So, they can do it without having him be the ultimate piece. I don't think there's a lot of teams that, feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
They did give up a lot for him, though. I agree with you on that.
I mean, the Rams really just don't believe in draft picks anymore.
No.
They won't have a draft pick for 10 years within the top 3 rounds. I mean, Von Miller.
Did you see him get smashed by
Kittle?
George
It's
Kittle?
Beautiful. It's a great. I was going to ask you guys if you saw it.
I don't know if anyone wants to.
I got it right here. I
know this is mostly an audio medium.
Here, enable share screen.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There we go. All right. I don't even know if we need audio on this.
All right. Oh. Watch George Kittle just fucking mash. And Von Miller's up. He's up and he had the leverage. Oh, that's a pancake right there. That's Jeff Saturday pancake of the fucking week right there, dude. I mean, Von Miller was up. Like, there was no surprise. It was just, I'm going to block you. And there was no help. There was no, I got cut from the side. You just got fucking lit up.
So you take down those speed rushers.
Was that the most surprising result of the weekend for you? For you guys, it was for me. Although I didn't watch the game, all of it. I was shocked by the ending.
I thought Washington really taking it to Tampa was pretty shocking.
Really.
And then Baltimore just completely taking the night off against Miami.
Look what Tampa did look what Washington did to Tampa last year in the playoffs. They probably gave them the hardest game out of all.
But that was because Washington's defense was elite. their offense was about the same as it is now, but their defense was elite, and their defense this year
Their
has been
defensive line is still pretty
horrendous.
great.
No, it isn't. And they just
Well, I
lost
mean,
Chase Young
I
for the
know
year.
they lost Chase Young,
But they've been underachieving every week, and their secondary is atrocious.
but good juju against the team. You feel it. You know when you play well against the team, you know what they're doing, their
but
schemes, this and that.
I guess more so than the Washington Tampa game, the Ravens just completely laying an egg in Miami was really surprising. That was someone we took on the money line. That's not a team that they should be losing to, especially at this point in the season. San Francisco, I get.
Whoa. First of all, you know what you just said out loud, right?
Oh,
I made this exact argument last week. Now, granted, you righted the ship this week.
Yeah.
I didn't notice. I didn't text you guys.
I was not worried. We're good.
Can I ask you this though? Does the fact that New England seems to have their shit together now, does that worry you at all? When's
not
that
really,
game?
because there's
When's
still
New England Buffalo?
It's in a week or two. They play.
Yeah, they haven't played at all yet. It's a Monday night game too.
Look, Steve, I still don't believe that they're a very good team. They have a very good coach who's making them believe they're a better team than they are. And when they go head to head, if the Bills are prepared, which they will be, it's going to be the same result as last year. The Bills are a far superior team at just about every position.
I do not disagree with that statement, but unfortunately, they have to play the games on the field. They can't just do it on paper, and therefore, Bill Belichick now gets involved because he doesn't, he will have his hands on the game, and I feel like the more that they slowly, people kind of have them under the radar. What are they, 5-4 now?
They're not under the radar anymore. They're 6-4. People are talking about they've won 4 in a row, but look at the 4 teams that they.
But they're not the team that you
they're
talk about every
teams.
week. They're not the Packers.
No,
they're not the Cowboys.
They've kind of come
what's
out of
wrong
nowhere.
with the Chargers? They are a team that
Look at the 4 teams that they've beaten. Nothing to write home about. And they'll play Tennessee next week. They're playing Atlanta, who's just awful tonight. And they'll play Tennessee next, I believe. And they get to play Tennessee. People say, oh, well, Tennessee beat Buffalo. They're playing Tennessee without Julio Jones, without Derrick Henry. They're missing some interior linemen, and their secondary is banged up. So it's not the same situation. So I think when they meet with Buffalo, Buffalo is going to be ready. It's a team that we had just been destroyed by for years. And that is when they circle on the calendar and go, fuck these guys, we have to beat them. And Buffalo's going to come out and they're going to smash them in the mouth.
We sucked last weekend.
I got mine.
I had to chug dongs. I think I have chugging dongs.
I got mine correct. The Lions covered. Not only did the Lions cover, they almost won outright.
Really? You picked the fucking Lions?
Yeah, I took the Lions, and you said I was crazy. He said I was crazy, and guess who covered? The fucking Lions in Pittsburgh. I mean, I had a little bit of a boost when Roethlisberger got the COVID, and that was not my doing. Just for the sake of the bet, that was God's work, not mine.
Yeah, I know. Mason Rudolph didn't hurt.
I
hurt your fucking chances.
I knew Detroit would cover, and they did. They really ran the ball down Pittsburgh's throat.
Pittsburgh couldn't tackle anybody. I mean, that was like probably the first game I watched from beginning to end the whole time, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Either it's like guys are getting blasted and getting penalties, or they're barely touching people. Yeah, like I've seen two-hand touches games now. They teach you to wrap the fucking person up and rip down both of the flags, like almost like a hip tackle, which is more than what the fucking Steelers were doing, which is not Steeler football.
We should point out that TJ Watt is out with an injury. I don't know. Have you guys seen, is it the whole season, or is he going to be able to come back?
I don't think it was the whole season. They said,
but that's going to hurt them big time.
Well, do you want to get into picks this week? Do you want to do that now, or go ahead, Lucas?
Oh, I was going to say also this Cam Newton thing. The Panthers beating the Cardinals 34-10.
That wasn't surprising.
You saw that?
Yeah, that wasn't surprising for 2 reasons. One, PJ Walker was a better situation than Darnold. So then Cam Newton coming in inside the 10-yard line. I mean, that's hard for any defense to stop. But the Cardinals lost J.J. Watt, and they lost their linebacker a few weeks ago. So their defense hasn't been the same. And then not having Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins really don't have much going on offense. And Carolina has a really good defense.
But I mean, also the Seahawks getting shut out. It's
Uh,
never like
so I
Well-
watched that game. That was Russell Wilson coming back probably too soon, and
Yeah,
his
what was
finger.
that? He looked terrible.
I
Terrible.
think it was one of those things because he heard it by smashing his finger on a helmet. And so I think in his mind, he was so worried about that happening again that you see him, he wasn't staying in the pocket. He was like escaping, and then he was either overthrowing or underthrowing. And really,
That was his first significant injury in his career. Like,
Yeah.
like actually made a missed game. So, it could be a little bit of.
I think it was mental. Like I don't want to
didn't
have
look
that
good at
happen
all.
again. But he'll be better this week. Great bounce back week.
And the Packers are 7-1 with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback.
Mhm.
So I think he's kind of shown that, hey, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yep.
Not take the vaccine, self-medicate, immunize, suck my dick. You need me. And his team is better than he gives them credit for. I don't even think he thinks his team's very good, but they are. They're pretty fucking good.
And his team's selling stock now too. Did you see that? They sold
Yeah.
300,000 shares of
Who gets that?
AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones both waited in line and bought stock.
They
Oh.
waited in line. That's cool.
Yeah, AJ
They could have made a
Jones
fucking phone
was
call.
tweeting that he had been waiting in over an hour and like still hadn't gotten it yet. But they are
Gotta
both now owners of the team that they play on.
and they're gonna trade Jones in a year once.
Well, Aaron Rodgers owns
Yeah.
I'm sure some of the Packers and the Bears. So, all right, fucking get to some of these picks because I
well done,
looked
Steve.
at 'em,
Well done.
and now I got some fucking deep gut instincts.
There were two games. I'll let you guys go first, but there were two games that I like very much.
All right, I'll go first. Bengals over the Raiders. What do you think? It's -1 on my end.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
basically a pick 'em. Trying to
On the
find it
road, doesn't
where-
matter. In Vegas, who
where
gives a
is
shit?
it?
Everyone has fun there.
Yeah, give me the Bengals. Give me the points.
Yeah, they're coming off a bye, and the Raiders defense isn't that great. Their offense obviously has had issues, and they've had one thing after another happen. So
Crazy, but
That's not
I like
bad.
By
that.
the way, yeah, the Raiders will have a 30 for 30 made about them over this season. So, the Colts can have hard knocks. The Raiders will have a 30 for 30 over this fucking terrible year.
because it's not even close to being over. John Gruden's suing now.
yeah,
He's actually, a lawsuit against Goodell and the league and everybody else. So yeah, I knew he wasn't going down fucking like, well, I'll go fucking sit and I'll coach college maybe later on if people will have me, or, I'll give back to the community. He's like, fuck this. I've seen other emails. Okay, please. All right, I got a couple guts. Here we go. First of all, Kyler Murray's coming back, and the Cardinals are going to beat the fuck out of the Seahawks. So you can give your 2 point. Don't make that face, Brenton. You don't think Kyler Murray's coming back?
he's coming back, but he's not going to be 100%. So he's not going to be able to scramble, and he's going to be very limited in what he does. And I don't think Hopkins is going to play this week either.
You motherfucker. I love how you just have to fucking harpoon my unbelievable gut instincts.
No, go with your gut. Go with your gut. Don't listen to me. We're going with your gut. Arizona -2.
I hate Minnesota and Green Bay because who the fuck knows this Minnesota team if they show up.
I mean, if you do player prop betting, maybe take Adam Thielen for an anytime touchdown because he seems to score every time they play, win or lose.
But hold on, where's the other one?
But yeah, that's a game in the dome, so Minnesota could be very competitive.
I hate this one, but I have to do it. I like the Cowboys to beat the Chiefs. I like them to beat the Chiefs. I mean, you can give them 2.5 points, but I like them to beat the Chiefs.
You like the Cowboys on the money line?
I do.
Oh,
I know.
mean, we saw Kansas City come back to life last week.
Yep. And they're home, but Dallas.
I'm going to put it in for you, but that's the one that scares me the most.
You don't have to. We're just talking. We're spitballing here, dude.
Okay, I don't want to touch that game. I think the Chiefs win that outright. I don't like the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys defense is really going to be put on display.
I think they will, and I think they're going to fucking rise to the occasion, my friend. You don't think?
Well,
Stephon
here's
Diggs,
why
Trayvon Diggs has a pick.
He might, but Trayvon Diggs might also give up 3 touchdowns because that guy, the way he's playing is he's not covering the person. He's trying to make the play. So he's going to give up big plays. Now he's got to try to cover Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, 2 guys who are much faster than him, and Travis Kelce with Mahomes playing like Mahomes in Kansas City. I do not like the Dallas Cowboys may be able to keep pace, but another reason not to like their defense is look at the Vegas over-under. It's the highest point total on the slate. So you're talking about Kansas City with an implied total of 23 or 24 points at least. I wouldn't bank the Cowboys winning on their defense. I would bank it on Dak Prescott out-dueling Mahomes and their offense.
To
The
quote,
Cowboys' defense is not good.
to quote Greta Thunberg, blah, blah, blah. That's all I heard.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Steve, I will bet you Diggs doesn't have an interception.
You think he won't?
No.
They can easily just throw away from him. They can scheme away from him, and Tyreek can be a decoy, and it'll be a Travis Kelce day.
And they'll have fucking homeboy Parsons all over Travis Kelce. He can guard him. I mean,
No one can guard Travis Kelce.
No one can. You're right. Fine. We don't have to do it. We can take we'll take the Chiefs. I had a gut feeling, and you know what?
But we're not just gonna take it going against your gut.
I
say we just leave that game alone because it really is. It's up in the air.
Yeah, you're up.
That's the game of the week.
Yeah.
No, that's the second game you said was the game of the week this week, Lucas.
We got 2 games of the week.
You said the Bills and the Colts were the game.
It is, and they're on at 2 different times.
I hate to do this to you guys, but that's a 7-point spread.
Yeah.
I might take the Colts with the points. Come on now. I mean, I know you don't want to do that.
No, the better in me agrees with you.
Yeah.
The 50-point total though, that under is screaming to be hit.
Yeah, they could run the shit out of this ball and make it into a fucking, 21.
If the Colts are going to win, that's how they're going to do it. The Colts are going to run the ball. If the Bills are going to win, they're going to have a few big plays and then they're going to sit on the ball.
What about Saints Eagles? That's another close spread. What do you like there? I mean, I'm 0 for 2 so far with my gut instincts, according to you 2 fucking jerks. But
Saints are going to bounce back this week. I've been wrong about the Saints all year, but they're getting a little bit healthier. Kamara's going to be back. Eagles defense isn't going to be able to stop them, and Simeon's playing well, and Taysom Hill when he comes in, he's been pretty solid, and that Saints defense is just ridiculous.
Do we even want to go near the fucking Jets in Miami? I mean, you got fucking Joe Flacco starting this game. Joe fucking Flacco. How bad as Mike White? I mean, they had this guy as the mayor. He was like 3rd in the polling for mayor of New York 3 weeks ago.
No, you know what this is? This is the GM trying to save face, going, we made a stupid trade and we gave up draft capital for Joe Flacco, so we better throw him out there so we don't look like morons for signing the guy for nothing.
Dude, I'm sorry. You if I'm the Jets, and Roberts, what's his name? Saleh. If I'm him, I'm saying, if someone comes down from fucking management and tells me I got to start Joe Flacco because you made a bad decision, I'm trying to win fucking football games. I got to choose between shit and vomit. That's basically my 2 choices. And you're telling me I have to take shit, even though I might want to eat vomit this week? Give me a fucking break, dude.
Gotta take shit.
No. I gotta fucking, I'm playing for my job here. These guys are fucking, I gotta win. I gotta put the best person in there that can win the fucking game. Now, you're not gonna probably win, but I mean, who knows? Miami showed up last week. That's why it's like, well, how is this even this fucking close?
Yeah. Because Miami isn't good. They just played a great game. And the Jets, while they're not a good team, they have some talent. And then you got to keep in mind, Tua is Miami's quarterback, and he's not very good.
Does Baltimore get fucked up 2 weeks in a row now, or do they show up against the Bears? Because I like them against the Bears.
Yeah, they'll show up against the Bears.
Even covering 4.5, I don't mind that either.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. But my lock is I really like Carolina at home against Washington, and you're only giving me 3 points. That's plenty.
Carolina at home against Washington. Yeah, that's a good one.
And then, on the money line, the spread's too big, but on the money line, Cleveland is not going to lose to the Lions. Not playing Tim Boyle. they're going to win that game easily, and they could win by 12 points, but 11.5 is a lot of points. I mean, we could buy a couple of points, and it would be for Cleveland -10, it would be -140 versus the -550. Cleveland's going to win by double digits. I just don't know if they win by 10 or if they win by more than that.
I don't know. I'm looking at double digits, and I like the Giants covering. You're gonna give me 11 points. We're gonna fucking make that happen.
Welcome to me 10 minutes ago.
I heard you.
And
I knew you said that.
You got so angry.
No, because you were saying like you were talking down like they were. It was like a
No.
kindergarten that colored in the lines. It was like
Lucas
you guys can
can-
probably
look.
keep within 11 points. It was very
I say a word and
condescending.
your eyes just see red, but Lucas can attest throughout the course of the season. I like your team. I've said that they play with heart. They play really well. And against Tampa, who's banged up with a bad defense, they can definitely keep pace. They just need to shut down Mike Evans. And then it's really, can Daniel Jones find the open receiver? I think Tony's going to have a fun game. It's going to be cool to watch him. And Barkley, if he's back, that really opens things up.
I'm telling you right now, we can keep it within. If we keep it within fucking double digits, we can do that. We are capable of doing that. This team is capable of doing that.
You're two very bad mental mistakes away from actually being in the running for a playoff spot.
I'm two bad mental diseases away from being a much better version of myself, but that doesn't do anything for anyone. I have two probably bipolar and a little bit of fucking OCD. Who knows?
Okay,
Listen.
well, we have 4 games selected right now. We have Carolina -3, we have Cincinnati -1, Arizona -2, and New York +11.
I love them.
Yeah, probably get us what, 560?
Well, I'm going to say that we took the Giants on with the points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say $314.
It's not going.
Great. Well, I'll vamp for you. Next week, we're going to do our eating contest. I also thought about this. Considering Thanksgiving's the next day, nobody wants to get too sick. Why don't we do 25 Munchkins donuts?
I've ate $587.79.
Whoa! All
Yes,
right. Okay,
sir.
now.
I knew it.
Although I still think your Arizona pick fucks us. So
Yeah, that's a game I'm staying away from.
We're
but
not.
it's
We're in
locked,
it.
it's locked in.
We're in it.
Go Cardinals.
Kyler Murray. Okay.
Kyler Murray, by the way, is smaller than I am.
Yeah, you wish.
He plays football.
Did you hear what I said about the
Yeah. So we
so 25 because I think that'll be good.
We'll
We'll get-
order the thing and then we'll count them out.
Put them in, make sure everyone's got an equal
Yeah.
amount, 25, and we'll go for
Yeah.
it. Because that way, we'll get it
25 is
done.
easy. 50, yeah. Even Cassie was like, "You guys are all gonna get sick and you're gonna die."
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I-
25 seems like a reasonable amount.
I'll commentate on that. I don't think I can. I'm not a speed eater. I
But
know my.
what if we just do because it's not going to be 10 minutes, right? It's just going to be over the course of the show.
It's just going to be whoever can get them done the fastest. Empty the
So-
box.
Okay.
This
I
is
was
a
gonna say,
sprint,
maybe
not a
we just-
marathon.
We just keep going until.
No, we go till the box is empty. Flip the box over, put it on his head.
No.
Done. No problem, dude. I actually was at LaGuardia this morning. I went to fucking Dunkin' Donuts and they have the little cups filled with donut holes. I got one of those for breakfast, dude.
How many in the
12.
cup?
12. I ate him before I got on the plane. I'm ready. I'm working out my stomach. My back is fucked though. Oh,
You know those real life competitive eaters, they like work out
yeah, that's
2-3
what I did
hours
today.
a day. And
I worked out expanding my stomach, but I got to rest my back.
Drinking 4 of these a day to expand my stomach. I've been preparing for months.
2 things. Number one, Justin Verlander re-signed $25 million with the fucking Houston Astros again. Evil Empires kept their Darth Vader, and so but look, the Yankees, I'm not disappointed in that. The Yankees, I don't think we could have gotten Verlander and Carlos Correa. I think At that point, we're turning into the fucking Houston Astros East. So we don't need that. So Carlos Correa, you can have him too. I want fucking Corey Seager. I want that to happen before the next podcast. So listen, Yankees, let's make that fucking happen, please. And then unfortunately, I'm not even going to talk about, I don't know if you guys heard about the Zach Stacy thing and the video of him. Okay. So here's my thing. I don't really watch these videos ever when they come out, because it's always just like, it's terrible and they're always grainy and you can't really get perspective. For some reason, I don't know why. It was right there. I clicked this one. This video, and this is just to preface this, okay? If you are a kind of person that is like, look, you know what? The NFL or sports should keep all this nonsense out of their fucking, there's no room for this. They should just worry about sports and they shouldn't be policing their own, let the courts take care of this stuff. For those people, I think you should go watch this video, because this is probably the most disturbing video I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. If that stuff bothers you at all, do not watch this video, because it is absolutely horrific. And this guy's got to go to jail for a long, long time. I mean, this made the Ray Rice video look like you were watching Sesame Street. So I don't even remember Zach Stacy that well. Running backs are like guys that you see for 3-4 years. He was one of those guys. But I truly hope this fucking guy gets his, because and to do it in front of a kid, even more deplorable. So yeah, fucked up. But if you are one of those people that are like, oh, look, people get upset, this and that, go watch that. You tell me if that's a fucking normal reaction to any sort of anything in your life. And that's my 2 cents on that. So can we end on something better than that?
Yeah. Do you see the Staples Centers no more?
Oh yeah. What is it? What?
It's just like, you brought it up. Okay, we need to
Well, I knew I wanted to talk about it, but
I wasn't even aware that happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen the video. The only thing I was going to bring up was how Stafford's wife had to apologize for throwing a pretzel at San Francisco fans. And it was a better throw than her husband made all night.
I saw that. And then, the wives from Hard Knocks, you see them and you're like, wow. You're like, it's like, oh, these guys are like, just, it's crazy how they come home and they can just kind of turn it off. And you realize it's not that case in every situation.
No.
This was fucking horrible. This was the complete opposite of watching what's his name play with his kids last night, Carson Wentz on fucking Hard Knocks. So it's horrible. But anyway, let's move on from it. It's not going to be the way we end the show, because what is the Staples Center's what is it, the cum.com center now?
Pornhub Center? Rocketcom.com.
Crypto.com.
Crypto.com Center. Arena.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it back to Arena, right?
No one's going to call it that, right?
The crypto.
No, they're going to call it Staples Center.
Cassie is a lifelong California resident and Laker fan, and she was all upset saying she was going to call it the Staples Center. And I was like, you realize it's still just like named after a company.
Yeah.
It's slowly going out. It's not like Jacobs Field or Wrigley Field or Fenway Park. Yeah, it's a company.
Yeah, the Lakers are like, we don't care.
Yeah, they're going out of business. They couldn't afford $700 million, so now it's crypto.com.
I mean, I didn't even know the licensing right was up, but did you think Staples even put a bid in? Did they go back to Staples? The Lakers like, so it's been 22 years. Our lease is up. What's your offer? Well, before you tell us that, I just want to let you know, we have 2 offers on the table, one from Pornhub and one from crypto.com that are all almost in the $1 billion range. And Staples was probably like, look, we've got 2 toner cartridges and a $50 bill that we can give you guys. Can we still hold on to the fucking place for that?
We're going to fax you our bid.
Our agreement. We'll have our lawyers or our district attorney fax you our agreement on public paper. It's snowing again. Fucking this place. So yeah, no, crypto.com. I'm happy that, is it like, this is it now? Everything's going to be renamed after some sort of .com. There's no more like normal businesses anymore, right? It's all going to be
all these teams have to raise money for whatever reason. Like the Packers, like the dumb thing about paying $300 for a fucking Packers share is you can never sell it. You don't get a say in any of the team matters. And also in the fine print, it says that if you criticize the NFL, Roger Goodell could go after you personally and your possessions.
Nice.
unbelievable.
He's a petty guy. And I can say that because I don't own Packers stock.
And he's gonna live forever, dude. He's gonna throw dirt on every single person here.
But I just got news. Alvin Kamara is missing practice. He's still recovering. So now all of a sudden you're
your Saints bet doesn't look as good, huh?
Well, we didn't take them.
Good.
I've been wrong about them every time I've taken them this year. So we didn't touch them. Right? We didn't touch them.
No, I thought you said you didn't.
I instantly forgot the bet. We didn't touch them. No, we're good. But if he does play, then I do like the Saints at least to cover.
All right. What else? Anything else? Do we have a fucking? Oh, by the way, I'm in obviously Grand Rapids this weekend doing shows at Dr. Grins. If you're getting this right now and you're free tomorrow, tonight, maybe who knows what time this comes out. Saturday, come on down to the Bob. That fucking Donkey Kong layer of alcoholism. It's 5 floors of just different bars and shit. Every time I go to this place, I get fucked up. It's impossible not to get fucked up here because there's nothing else to do. It's cold, and you've got 5 layers of fucking debauchery over there. So I'm like the cream in this fucking cake of just debauchery. So I'll be doing that this weekend. Also, New Year's Eve, I'll be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. My first time in Fort Wayne, Indiana. For the New Year's weekend. Why? What are you making that face for, Lucas? I mean, Brenton. What are you?
It's a great club, Rough City.
Oh, great!
You think there's nothing to do in Grand Rapids? Wait till you get to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I'm gonna be out there singing Happy New Year to myself.
Isn't that home of Ryan O'Neal?
No, he's Valparaiso.
Okay.
Club's great.
Oh, I can't wait. You guys have any dates you want to plug? Anything you want to fucking get out there?
I got nothing. I got a comedy store spot on Saturday. That's it.
Yeah, plug it, man. I'm at the Improv in the main room on Friday, and then jamming the band on Saturday.
Thank you to Sweat Taylor for sending me those fucking rad joggers and hoodies. They're fucking awesome. But that's it. That's the podcast for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We made you money. We made you laugh. We made you come. What more do you want from us? Our OnlyFans page? Sure, we'll start one of those. Brenton, Lucas, and I will cross swords streams while pissing. Does that make you happy for $5.99 a month? We're trying to get some money here. Okay, we've got to get Brenton's rich. I'm doing okay. We got to get Lucas fucking rich. Help us out, please, for the love of Christ. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Go Bills.